Personal story segment tonight. Last week in Washington, there was a hearing in front of a House committee where families who have been victimized by violent illegal aliens got to tell their stories.
My family's peace and freedom were stolen by an illegal alien from Mexico. He was brought here by his illegal alien parents and allowed to grow up as a wild animal. Do black lives really matter, or does it matter only if you are shot by a white person or a white policeman?
Joining us now from Los Angeles is Jamil Shaw. And from Phoenix, Arizona, Steve Ronbeck, whose 21-year-old son shot dead by an illegal alien in January. Mr. Shaw, I'll begin with you. That was a very impassioned statement you made in front of the Congress people. What kind of reaction have you gotten?
Thank you. A lot of phone calls, emails, letters, but mostly nationally, locally, they didn't cover it. They really don't want people to know what's going on.
No, you're right. It gets very criminal illegal aliens get very little coverage on the national level. When your 17-year-old son was killed, and you found, what did you find out about the killer? What did you find out about him?
That he was brought into the country at 4 years old by his illegal parents, and that he had extensive criminal background. He was on his third gun charge when he murdered my son. He was out of jail only one day, and he was ordered by the Latino shot callers, gang shot callers, to murder blacks when they get out of jail. He was looking for someone black to kill, and he was in my neighborhood, and he saw my son walking down the street, and he went over there and murdered him just because
he was a maniac. But, that situation where he was 4 years old when he came, that's the DREAM Act. I mean, he's going to be legalized.
Right.
Now he's not. He's going to be in prison the rest of his life by President Obama. But that could have been an American that did that. You know about the violence in Los Angeles and Chicago. It could have been an American on that. But your beef with the federal government is what?
That they're not securing the border. They're releasing these violent criminals into our community, and they're telling us that these are the ones that they want to go after. And then when we sign up or try to back them what they're doing, then you see the Homeland Security thing they did today in Congress, and they say one thing and do something else, and then they go and they fund the same people who are murdering us.
All right, so you want more of a crackdown on the border so that we stop this kind of flow in. Now, Mr. Ronbeck, your son, 21 years old, gunned down in Phoenix, Arizona. What did you learn about his killer?
He had been released by ICE. He was a violent offender. He had, from what I know, is he had actually committed a sex crime and committed a burglary. They pled it down to a simple burglary. He never did any time. He was released. He was supposed to be on probation. And about the time that his probation ended, he murdered my son.
Okay, so he's an illegal alien. He's here. He's got an arrest record, but they don't, instead of deporting him right away, they kick him back out on the streets in Arizona, and he murders your son. So what did you tell Congress about that?
Well, my brother actually was the one who told Congress it's just not acceptable. I mean, we're angry. We want to know why he was on the streets. Why did they let him go?
And why do you think they let him go?
I have no idea. I can't even answer that question. I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
So you don't really have a political opinion on illegal aliens committing violent crimes. You don't really have informed an opinion on it.
Not as of yet.
Okay.
But I'm learning more every day.
Certainly, Mr. Shaw, you have formed an opinion on it. And that would be?
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to enforce 1041. We're trying to get a bill passed, 1041, that would let the FBI give statistics of what's going on in the city, the states, the federal government, to enforce and to give everybody statistics of what's going on, where they're doing it, who's doing it.
Let's have a little sunshine. Let's know. Okay. Now, one more question, Mr. Shaw. It may be an unfair question to you. If it is, you don't have to answer it. If your son had been gunned down by a white police officer, you would have been on every program, every radio show, everything. But since it was an illegal alien who killed your son, as you said at the beginning of this interview, unprompted, you can get any national coverage. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's disrespectful because they say Black Lives Matter, but it only matters if you're killed by whites or white police. My son had, according to the coroner, my son was laying on the ground after he was shot in the stomach with his hands up, and he shot him through his hands into his head and killed him. And the so-called black politicians, the black leaders, the athletes, they don't care about that because he was killed by a Latino person.
We haven't seen
But
any.
like you say, if he would have been white.
Right. We haven't seen any NBA players with your son's picture on it. And I must say, Mr. Shaw, and I want to say this, me to you, okay, man to man, your son was a really good kid. I mean, he was really a good kid with a very bright future, and I just can't imagine the pain you're going through. So if we can do anything for you and you, Mr. Rondak, you let us know. And you're right. You're both right. We got to stop this madness, and we got to stop it now. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.